That goes into my hairline. You not crazy. Hello, I am Canadian. I had dual citizenship. I don't support Trump. Also, tell that home to bring back Jackson. So bring back when we stop parenting, y'all. Like that's literally the hard line. I don't even blame Canada for that.
Really at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Paul. You're on here with Ari and Moni. How are you doing today?
Great.
Awesome. Doing well. What's your name?
My name's Carl.
You said Kyle?
Carl. Yeah, Carl.
Carl. That's a Minnesota friend.
My phone.
Hey, yo. I mean, supposedly shit.
I was in today and I followed the lights and I've been listening, so I just thought check in, see what was going on.
Wait, this is the first time you've seen me?
This is the first time I've seen you already.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome.
I hear you talking.
I love that from Moni.
He was going live, left me find you, and here we are.
Awesome.
And fine, check out, listen. But there's no phone, I don't have to check.
Hey, yo. All right, well, thank you. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and did you find where you could like join?
It says host
Yep, just click that.
It says screen calls.
Host. It won't affect anything. It just allows.
I was like,
you
I
to-
didn't want to do anything.
It's not going to add sound to you, and this is why this has to be set up. And so yeah, it won't add sound on your end, but it allows you to see everybody. Yep. All right. So we have Joseph from Texas on the line. And let's see. Joseph, you are on air with Ari and Moni. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How about you?
Doing well.
Good to hear.
Great. So are you still supporting Donald Trump?
So, yeah, I voted for him, and I don't regret voting for him. So, yes, I would say that I support him.
Why do you still support him?
So, unfortunately, we step our society into a system where we ultimately end up and so when most of the and I actually I really tried that first party. I voted for the libertarian option. But in 2020, the sixth election, I voted for Trump. And the reason is because of a lot of the social issues. I feel that particularly leftists in the current state, again, I hate dividing left and right, but they pick a lot of social issues, and I feel like they push them for the sake of like progress for progress sake. And I think that's inappropriate, and I think it's causing a lot of issues. And he did better than I thought he would during his first term. But I'm not happy with this particular situation that we're in right now with the war with Iran. I'm not particularly happy with how we're handling Israel, but I think Trump is still the better option, and I would vote for him again.
You can't. So you do understand you can't vote for Trump again, right?
I understand how the Constitution works. Yes, as of right now, there's amendments in place. Everybody does complain. What I'm saying is if we flash back to our last voting session, right? I had an opportunity and had to make the decision again, Trump or Kamala. We'll choose Trump.
Okay. Did you use the phrase lesser of two evils?
No, I did not.
You did not. Okay.
I said, if I said anything, I would have said shiny is the two thirds, because that's my go-to. But it's not lesser of evil, but I get where you're going.
No, I was just making sure I didn't hear that. So.
No.
I can't. Do you even want to touch that with social issues, Audie?
No. Okay.
Well, you started it saying I feel, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's his feeling. Is it the thing you needed?
I mean, I can back it up with facts and you can remove the feeling from it.
I doubt it. Which Islamophobia do you have?
Continuing scientism. So in 2019, BLM was everywhere. A lot of issues got publicized.
That was in 2019.
Yeah.
That was 2020.
No, I'm saying so like 2019 was when George Floyd happened, right?
No.
And they published.
Not 2019.
Yeah, because it was that was literally the summer.
Go ahead and finish your sentence. That was the summer when what happened?
Okay. Going into the election, Biden versus Trump, okay, the big issues were COVID and BLM. Can we agree on that?
No.
No.
When was Biden inaugurated in office?
In 2020.
Okay.
So when did the election occur for that election?
November 2020.
Okay.
Great. So summer before that election cycle was when? So when did George Floyd die?
Might have been in May. My point is all through
It
that.
wasn't May. Of what year?
It was judicial. Again, I don't understand how that's important.
Because you have to have a
Because
basis
I've got
of
it dead
facts.
wrong.
Yeah, that's
So,
important.
because it doesn't matter to have
When we
it
got you
in
there.
2030.
I mean, it would, because that would be in the future, and then I would have to, if you were talking about 2030, I would have to ask you for the winning water numbers for tomorrow.
My point is that whether it happened in 1920 or 2000, it was a topic of discussion during that election cycle. Do you agree?
Yes, in 2020.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, the whole reason I bring that up is there was a lot of publicized issues with excessive force. Even there were some really messed up stories with excessive force of police, even coming out of Utah where I lived at that time. So my wife and I, we really wanted to take a look at ourselves and see if we were racist, right? Because self-reflection, right? Something pointed out. If you don't self-evaluate, then you're not looking to improve, right?
Are you white?
Native American and white, yes.
Indigenous and white. Okay. Do you think that then you get to decide if you're racist or not? That's something you get to decide for yourself?
I think you're either racist or you're not. I don't think anybody decides. I think it's a fact.
Well, but how would you determine for yourself that you're not when you don't live that experience?
So, when racism is the state of looking down on someone else strictly because of the color of their skin and their heritage, that is the idea of racism, right? Either you do that or you don't. Agree?
No.
Well, there are conscious and unconscious biases within racism.
Intense and impact.
Okay. And that's why when you self-reflect, right, you analyze your decisions and you reevaluate whether or not there was conscious or unconscious bias in those decisions.
Sure, and what I'm going to tell you is the fact. Sure, and what I'm going to tell you is the fact that you brought up BLM as your first talking point gives me a big red flag.
So the reason I'm using that is you asked what is a man, and my wife and I genuinely reviewed ourselves, and what I came to the conclusion of is I don't feel like I have any problem on any scale with race. I definitely really struggle sometimes, and this probably has more to do with the fact that I was adopted from a family on welfare, with some lower class and lower income practices and behaviors. So you ask, what ism I have? If I have one, it's classism. I do believe that I struggle with people who are significantly higher class bracket than I am, or significantly lower class bracket than I am. They make me feel uncomfortable, regardless of their income. So
that's not even what
your
classism is about.
Well, that's your answer. That's the closest thing I can give you an answer to what ism myself.
And I agree. You said classism was your ism, but then again, you brought up BLM. Why?
So that leads to the conversation about BLM to illustrate that I have genuinely reflected on if I am racist, sexist, religious. I agree with that one. Bigot, I think that was just bigot or prejudice. The only one that I can believe I struggle with on any level, to answer your question in a genuine and faithful answer, is I really struggle with extremely high class culture and extremely low class culture. I don't feel comfortable in a trailer park, and I don't feel comfortable in marijuana.
It's not class.
Okay.
Okay.
What were
What would you define class?
the actual definition? But what were the Democrats doing in regards to classism that made you uncomfortable?
I didn't say, you asked what is class. And you can't just say that's not what that is. Awesome, let's move forward. What's your definition?
Prejudice or discrimination or systemic oppression directed at individuals based on their social or economic class, which is not what you said. You're just saying you don't feel comfortable. That's not a prejudice.
I know.
That is not discrimination.
When I go back to him,
How are you discriminating against the Mar-a-Lago class then?
there's nowhere near, like, I do my best to avoid corporations on all levels.
That's not discrimination. That is not discrimination. How are you discriminating against the Mar-a-Lago class? Especially with you calling in as a Trump supporter.
All right. Would you agree that if a black person was invited in and I felt uncomfortable to ask them to leave, that would be discriminating against them?
No, because they could have, let's just say you had a rule to enter your house to take off their shoes. And then they took off their shoes. They were wearing tennis shoes, but they weren't wearing socks. That would make me uncomfortable. I'd ask anybody to leave. You're not wearing socks and tennis shoes? You're weird. Wear some socks, guys. You don't want that funk. Anyways, they could make you uncomfortable for a number of reasons that could have zero to do with your race.
Okay. Because they're black.
That has, so you're utilizing, they just made you uncomfortable because they entered into your house and they're black. Then yes, if you're doing it specifically, because of their color, the color of their skin, then that is discrimination, and yes, that would be racism.
Right. And I'm telling you that the circles that rich people run around in, the behavior that they participate in, and the lack of ethics they seem to apply to their decision making, and the fact that they apply money first, right? I've met some of these people. Just being in their presence makes me feel uncomfortable.
That is not, no.
You voted for Donald Trump. So.
Yeah, so that's not true. You literally aligned yourself with the Mar-a-Lago class. Again, that's not, okay, I guess we need to break this down to discrimination as well. Okay, which is the unfair or prejudicial treatment of individuals or groups based off of like characteristics that they can't change typically. Yeah. So how are you being prejudicial towards them and how are you treating them unfairly? Does your discomfort make it so that you're treating somebody that makes $4 billion a year uncomfortable? Like, does that make it unfair treatment because you're uncomfortable near them?
Again, it doesn't. Again, if I walk up to somebody and I do something, it doesn't have to make them feel uncomfortable for discrimination. If I were to yell a racial slur, the act of yelling a racial slur is a discriminatory act. It is a racist act. If they let it roll off their shoulders and they're unaffected by it or they don't hear it, it doesn't change the fact that I did something that was discriminatory.
Can I tell you, Moni, how much I miss Ren? Here's why. I'll put it on the screen. Where is it?
I just want to know how many different ways we can ask how you discriminate against Steve.
Okay. Again, I don't associate with them and I don't let them associate with me.
It's not discrimination.
Yeah.
You just said.
You're basically, yeah, he's saying I don't like rich assholes, just like I don't like all poor people. Yeah, that's a good point. Brent also said, like, so if he's not racist, why does he keep bringing up race? There it is, I found it. There's Ren. I miss Ren.
There's plenty of other ones.
My big thing that a reason I would say that I still support Trump, all right, is because, again, we are in a bipartisan system. My option is either to vote for Trump and support Trump or to vote for other alternatives, right? The only other alternative, right, again, was Kamala. All right.
Look, that was your option in 2024. We are now on May 13th, 2026, the great year of our Lord.
Okay.
You have no reason to still support him. So why don't it's not your only option. You have two options here. You can support Donald Trump or you can not support Donald Trump. So, but you're choosing to continue to support him. Why?
My question for you is why can't I choose to support him but disagree with some of the things he does? For example, I support my wife. I love her dearly, right? That does not mean that I agree with her perfect for her and that I agree with every single decision she makes.
Sure, but the fact that you still have the whole point of this conversation is to get to the things you still support. See, me and Ari, I don't think we really have anything from this term of his that we support at all. So the fact that there's very little. I think the only
I'll support it if they do give the troops a 7% pay raise. 100%.
That would be great. And I think somebody was floating the idea of allowing SNAP recipients to purchase rotisserie chicken and hot food, which I would totally be for.
Oh, they need to do that. It's cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. But so very little, right? But we can substantiate the policies we support and why we support them. That's what we're trying to get into is why you support him.
Okay. Okay. We can be specific.
Let's start. I did think that was funny. Jay Hops wanted to point out that it seems like he gaslit himself in the anyway, but cool. I was just reading that.
Somebody else.
So yeah, it wasn't me. It was
No, but that's fine.
Oh, okay.
so specifically why what's done so far that during your intended report. What
Okay. So, Trump is directly responsible for the legislation that prevented the pharmaceutical industry from price-fixing insulin. Essentially,
From his, so, are we talking about his first term now? Because I would prefer.
Introducing the new MoneyMart app, built to make managing your money simple, fast, and on your terms. New look, enhanced tools, same commitment to you. Everything you love about MoneyMart right in your pocket. The new MoneyMart app.
so, to be specific, I don't think you guys mentioned no tax on tips and overtime, right?
Yes, cool. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. I think it's a good start. It is limited and it has a time, it has an expiration date. So,
Okay. Everything.
and if we're gonna give anybody credit, we should give that credit to Rand Paul, who's actively serving in the United States Senate, because no tax on tips was one of his policies. Elizabeth Warren campaigned on that policy as well. Bernie Sanders campaigned on that policy. So give credit to the Congress people who actually put that into writing.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Rand Paul is one of my few people I actually like. Okay. Accelerated oil, gas, and coal.
Wow. What piece of legislation?
So, fine, we can do this.
Because even according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics report, there has been no significant increase or decrease in the mining occupation. They have not added nor reduced jobs.
Look. What the? Okay.
So, April 2026 Defense Production Act. EPA.
With the munitions one?
Probably.
Seven.
And he also deregulated a ton of stuff for the
Provides the president with an array of authorities to shape national defense preparedness programs and take appropriate steps to maintain and enhance the domestic industrial base. This is something that's been renewed every couple of years from 1950. So gold star, every president's done this.
And we're increasing production of defense. Why?
So again, it used to say defense is increasing support for defense. One of the biggest issues I think that the U.S. faces is that we're dependent on other countries for resources that we have here.
Oh, and this never even became law.
Okay, nothing the president does becomes law, and everything is temporary. In order for you to be a permanent change, that has to go to the Senate and the House of Representatives. So blaming a president for all of the issues is nothing that he can do.
Well, no, to be clear,
Yeah.
and to be clear, me and Audie specifically, we use Trump because that's the easiest for you guys to recognize. But we talk a lot about the administration that he appointed and who was
Shit, fuck. I think I lost a piece again. Shit, fuck. I lost a fucking piece again. Shit, fuck. Fucking pieces, fuck. I lost. Fucking pieces Is that the piece?
And to include some.
Holy shit.
In fact, some background, yes.
That's
Is
the
that
piece.
there's no good and bad among them. Majority of the politicians in the U.S. are one, either more loyal to another entity rather than the United States people, be that a corporation, a foreign country, or themselves, or they are deliberately using social issues, everything from LGBTQ all the way to children, right?
There it is.
To be able to
There
pass
it is.
legislation.
That's what I was waiting for from the beginning of the show. What we call.
Never. I'm surprised it's 23.
I know.
Okay, what did I say? Did I say the match word? Did I win $1 million?
It did.
I mean,
We found awful.
you're gonna have to play the lottery for the $1 million.
What's my vote?
Much of social issues regarding the LGBTQ and children.
Because that every single politician, left or right, when they want to pass something that they use in control, they cite it's to protect the children, it's to increase rights, it's
No, they
to
don't.
raise social awareness.
No.
Okay, so what does it have to do with the LGBTQI plus community? Why'd you use that in the same sentence? I don't disagree that a lot of campaigns run off of protecting children. I don't disagree with that. But it's weird that you included it then.
This one's a little dated, but I'll give you a great example. So during the Stonewall protest, right? Well known, I think we all know the details, right? They were asking for basic rights, right? I want to be able to declare my partner as my partner. I want to be able to declare them as next of kin. I want to be able to put them and file jointly on taxes. I want them to be able to visit me when they need. Agreed?
Sure, they also just like not to be illegal.
Why
Why
what?
would they do that restricted in the first place?
Bigotry, bigots.
But I'm saying I should be able to name whoever I want to be as next of kin, and it should be easy. If I decide me and my friend John are gonna be, my point is I agree with that, right?
And sure, take that up with conservatives.
They're the ones that have an issue. The Conservative Party, the RNC, is the one that ran $215 million in negative campaign ads against the LGBTQ plus community. Right? They're the ones that spent $215 million to run negative campaign ads, whereas the DNC spent zero in anti or pro.
My point is that this is a gay right issue. That should just be a thing.
Sure, then tell the conservatives to stop attacking us. That's great.
So, and then all the way to the other side of that, when I mentioned children is actually very reasonable, right? Several states, led by liberal leaders, have been passing laws to regulate 3D printing. Okay? The sole reason that they're regulating 3D printing is to protect the children from mass shootings because ghosts count.
Right. Yes. Okay.
You can literally go through and go to every single mass shooting, and every single one of them, they identify the weapon used. None of them are ghost guns. The whole reason they want to establish a database, right, is so that they can now, one, they'll have the unintended consequences of driving up 3D printers, which will increase cost, which takes independence and production away from the people. But once they've got a database that you have to connect to, what's to stop them from being, that looks like a Pokemon, all right? You can't manufacture that. That looks like a part to your tractor. You can't manufacture that. It's been copyrighted, right?
Yeah, that's capitalism. You hate capitalism. Welcome, comrades.
You're awesome. No,
Yes.
capitalism is the free market. The moment the market is being manipulated by government regulations is no longer free market.
Oh. Yeah. Anarcho? Are you an anarcho?
No, the thing is, I'm a constitutional defender.
Hey, no, I'm absolutely the fuck not. If you, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be so fucking for real. For anybody that still supports Donald Trump, to call yourself a constitutionalist, somebody give you a whirl, like you need to get a swirly or whatever they call it when they stick your hand in the toilet and flush.
Also, the definition of capitalism is the economic system of the private ownership of the means of production. So privately owned. So yeah, copywriting, something
So what I do with my 3D printer, which I personally think is ownership, right?
Sure, but you don't have a right over the patent for the design.
I'm not done. I'm not, there's no emphasis on that law whatsoever. I'm not done.
Oh, well then that's just for home use. So what would that have to do with anything?
It doesn't matter. I have to maintain an online connection.
No, but I'm saying your example of printing a tractor part, or that looks like a Pokemon, if it's just for your home to put on your shelf, nobody can do anything about that.
But that's what I'm saying is, so your right to ownership, private ownership, your right to repair all of these things are being stripped.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Where's the bill to regulate your printing at home for home use? Where's the legislative bill that regulates you being able to 3D print a part at home for personal use? Where's that?
I can get you exact numbers because it happens in 4 states.
Besides guns, but that's going to be different regulation. That's on capital.
Okay.
That's
Multiple U.S. states regulations, printers, including requirements for registration, mandatory background check for buyers, mandatory print blocking technology, right? And that's what I'm saying is, this is one that's happening right now. But, yeah. So, California, 2047.
it's proposed, so it hasn't passed.
Yeah,
This is an example of one.
and that's still
For
wrong.
firearms.
New York is the only one that's considering legislation that would require a criminal history background check for purchasing 3D kit printers capable of producing firearms or their components. That's it. That's all it's about. Is states are utilizing their 10th Amendment rights in order to limit what you can do with a 3D printer, like printing off gun parts, which by the way, the material that's used within it is subject to misfire, like is going to cause incompatibilities within regular guns. Like there's multiple layers or reasons why it is bad to 3D print parts. But anyway, I want to go back to one thing, well, a couple of, we'll just stick with one thing. Why you can't call yourself a constitutionalist and support the United States, because I don't know about Monica, but I'm not here to debate individual state laws. You can do that with somebody else. I don't care about individual state laws. This is about the federal government, and perhaps you can look at what Donald Trump or the president or even Congress people have done to suggest state laws at the local level. That'd be fine if we wanted to go into that, but not the individual laws in each and every state. Whatever. Donald Trump has actively violated the 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 9th Amendment too, technically. Literally has tried to violate the 12th Amendment, and has violated the 14th Amendment, the 16th Amendment of the United States Constitution, and is now talking about violating the 24th Amendment and wants to violate the 25th. Or joked about it. We'll say it was a joke. And it's already written on paper with the United States Supreme Court that Donald Trump violated Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution, meaning because he violated Article 1, Section 8, he also violated Article 2 and Article 6. You cannot call yourself a constitutionalist and support Donald Trump when you're okay with him violating parts of the Constitution.
So, amendments by order. You said he violated the First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition.
Let's see. He tried to take away AP's press badge, AP News. That's been blocked in court. They had to give it back, right? Also, him and his State Department, under the orders of Donald Trump with the State Department, they've actively revoked visas of people that have written either anti-Trump op-eds or spoke out negatively against the president or spoke out against Israel, both of which are blatant violations of freedom of speech and the First Amendment rights, which is why they had to have those reissued.
Sure,
Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil.
Roommates at Ulster.
Isn't she the one that was on a student visa for her doctoral? Yeah. So, and for somebody, and this is going to be the only comment that I respond to you, by the way, from Not Jay. He said it's not a violation of freedom of speech to revoke a visa. It is when it's it's listed for the reason of utilizing your freedom of speech to speak out against the government. That is a blatant violation of the First Amendment. Oh, and let's not even talk about the Pentagon trying to downgrade Mark Kelly's retirement rating because he also reminded fellow military members to ignore unlawful orders if given.
The DoD also banned certain press from being able to insert in during the press conference,
Which was also ruled unconstitutional.
Yes.
Yeah. Blatant First Amendment violation. You are not a constitutionalist.
So, Mahmoud, I'm catching up on him right now very quickly. So, Mahmoud was.
Mahmoud Khalil.
Yeah, Mahmoud Khalil. I'm very.
Cool. Can you say VP Harris's name now, right? Can you say that? Can you say VP Harris's name now?
I'm not a huge for me problem. But I get calls with my name getting butchered all the time because oh yeah. It is like how often people mess up my name. People can't even get the E and the S in the right order.
I mean, in their defense, there are people that literally spell Joseph, Joesph, because people are strange.
But that's spelling and not pronunciation.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever even heard of anybody mispronouncing Joseph. I knew I used to mispronounce Sean when it spelled Sean because I'm like, that's Scene. Like, I don't give a fuck how you say it, it's Scene. That's not Sean. Where's the H? Where's the W? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry, Sean. Twitch.
That's a Sean.
Listen, I'm just in fourth grade.
you can be forgiven for what happened in fourth grade. So, Okay, so from what I understand, I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, Mahmoud Khalil.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Was the status of his green card or his sake of student visa was challenged and revoked due to adverse foreign policy consequences and alleged immigration fraud. Now, from what I understand, the situation was reviewed, was undone, and he's still here, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So, how is that a violation?
The fact that they tried to do it in the first place, and then he had to utilize his right to due process and fight it after they attempted to deport him, which was a violation of his due process rights and the ability to file for a writ of habeas corpus to contest his removal. It took months. They jailed him. They detained him for a long time. Also, W has to wait.
That happens all the time, though. Anybody can accuse anybody and try them for anything.
Okay, but then you're not a constitutionalist. You're not a constitutionalist because he violated the Constitution.
And you're okay with it.
No,
And you're still
no,
supporting
the
him.
violation would be overriding the ruling and enforcing it anyway. This is due process. You literally just described due process.
The thing that they're trying.
The judge found it to be unconstitutional what they did. So if they would not have challenged it at all, if Mahmoud Khalil would have just left the country, Donald Trump and his team would have still violated the Constitution. They just weren't challenged them. So what happened is there were two things, right? The administration violated the Constitution and his rights, but he used his constitutional right to due process to try to get that undone. The whole point is that they set it as a policy within the state.
I like this comparison. It's not like the best, but it makes sense. If I ran a stop sign and got a ticket, subsequently and then paid for it, that doesn't mean that it undoes the act.
Oh God. Okay.
It doesn't erase the act that occurred.
That.
People in general, that's the thing that happens all the time. Just because Trump and his move on the wrong side of the argument doesn't mean deliberately breaking the Constitution.
When he is telling, it does, right? When he is telling them specifically to look for anyone that is doing pro-Palestine protests at colleges to remove their student visa, this happened last year. That is actively violating the First Amendment. Or saying that anybody that protests against the Israeli government is automatically anti-Semitic, which is not true.
So, we're very close, right? So the whole point of this conversation, and we agree, is I'm going to try to at least express my point of view, maybe change your mind, or vice versa.
I'm not trying to change anybody's mind.
So why would you want to have a conversation with people?
It's not for you, it's for everyone else that's listening. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but the majority of people that call in are already set in their ways, and they're not going to hear from speaking to me. They might, from speaking to me, they're not going to listen, the majority of them, right? There's maybe 5% of people that I can change their minds by speaking to them. I change more minds by them listening.
Okay. So you're on the verge of changing. Here's my question, okay? So we specifically Mahmoud, okay? We're speaking out, right? There could be reasons why you would want to stop that, right? Simple as arguing disturbing of the team, and citing, there's a couple reasons I could see why you would say what he was doing specifically could be a problem. But declared unconstitutional, it wasn't upheld, he's back in the U.S.
Shit, fucking shit, fuck. What the fuck did I just do?
child being born due to being kept in detention. His first child. So far, only child.
Again, we can give up. I could literally find, not find, hundreds of examples where injustices happened to people because they were falsely accused and then they were later exonerated. My point is you're saying that.
Yeah, that happens to 63% of black men every year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yes, you can find that people, if they get exonerated or returned on appeal. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Fine. That, like you said, that under order of President
An executive order targeted international students for pro-Hamas vandalism and intimidation.
I just found it.
What's the executive order number?
14188.
I recommended constitutional measures to combat anti-Semitism, strengthen federal efforts, anti-Semitism, restoring our college campuses, by directing agencies to identify legal rules for enforcement.
Two, this fucking piece is fucked up. Fucking pieces.
White House fact sheet. Okay. So I don't agree with the in Israeli politics. I think Israel is more than capable of taking care of itself without our help.
Well, but that wasn't the competition.
That being said, I'm all the way to section 3. And I do not see anything expressly here that orders to track people down for having pro-Palestinian beliefs. I think I'm just going to be honest. The only way you could look at
Title VI complaints and administrative actions, including K through 12 education related to anti-Semitism, pending or resolved after October 7, 2023. What happened on October 7th?
the Palestinian attack on Israel.
Nope, not Palestinian. Hamas. A terrorist organization. Yes, they were elected into office in 2006 with the average age of the Palestinians of the Gaza Strip.
So,
No, if you don't know, just say I don't know. What's the average age of somebody that lives in Gaza?
30.
It absolutely does. Again, they were elected into power in 2006. Their average age is 19. So you would have to be telling me that somehow we're blaming Palestinians for the fact that they voted before they were even conceived. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not saying any of this.
No, it absolutely does. You said the Palestinians. It is specifically the Hamas, which has been known to be a terrorist organization. It absolutely matters. It is not the Palestinians as a whole. Right now, you sound like an IDF soldier.
You and I understand. Because what you quoted was section B of section 3.
I did. I read that specifically. Yeah. We all know exactly what they're pointing to. It says related to anti-Semitism pending or resolved after October 7, 2023, specifically pointing to the attack on Israel, the unfortunate attack on Israel, which should never happen. I absolutely agree. But the point is that executive order was then utilized by Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, to then review and remove visa or revoke visa status of students who participated in pro-Palestine protests, not pro-Hamas, not pro-terrorism, pro-Palestine. Because people that actually have any level, have looked into this even at a surface level, realize that it's not the fault of the Palestinians that their forefathers voted in a terrorist organization to lead, which, mind you, a lot of people don't know this. Before October 7, 2023, the Israeli government funded Hamas.
Oh, and just to the point, you can go down right next one, section E. I'm going to show you. In addition to identifying relevant authorities to curb or combat anti-Semitism generally required by this section, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Education, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, in consultation with each other, shall include in their reports recommendations for familiarizing institutions of higher education with the grounds of inadmissibility under 8 U.S.C. 1182, Section A3, such that institutions may monitor for and report activities by alien students and staff relevant to those grounds, and for ensuring that such reports about aliens lead as appropriate and consistent with applicable law to investigations, and if warranted, to remove such aliens.
Judge rules Trump administration violated the rights of pro-Palestinian protesters October 1st, 2025. Federal judge called the Trump administration's attempts to deport non-citizens because of their Palestinian activism a full-throated assault on the First Amendment, right? I was Judge Young, right? So then we go down here, and what did it say specifically? President Trump beliefs pose a threat to national security. Trump and his top officials often accuse pro-Palestinian activists of being anti-Semitic and of being supporters of Hamas terrorism. But in his ruling, Judge Young noted the government presented no evidence to back up these claims. So the key question he wrote was whether non-citizens legally in the U.S. have the same freedom of speech and, of course, freedom of protest rights as the rest of us. And how he answered that question in writing, quote, "The court answers this constitutional question unequivocally, yes, they do." During Donald Trump's 2024 campaign, Donald Trump told donors that he would, quote, "crush pro-Palestine protests and revoke visas."
So I would say that that's because the majority of pro-Palestinian arguments and most of pro-Palestinian movements are also anti-Israel.
No, they're not. They're anti the Israeli government. There is a significant distinction.
But even if they were, Bobby,
Okay.
even if they were, they're allowed to be.
So, if Israel and the Jewish people are one and the same, right? The people in power are Jewish, right? So you're arguing that
No,
the Israeli people are not
just-
Jewish.
No, that's not it. You can be critical of the Israeli government, the people that are ruling, without being critical of the Jewish religion. It is not the same.
So I can be critical of Palestine without being critical of the Palestinian people.
You can be critical of Hamas
The governmental structure.
until they complete their elections. Because they are actually holding elections. That's awesome.
And if I said something and you needed to determine whether it was pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas, how would you do that?
Free Palestine, a blanket statement. Is that pro-terrorism or just pro-Palestine?
But a lot of those signs are right next to signs that say from
Prove it.
sea to.
From the river to the sea, how is that pro-terrorism?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah,
If
how
we
is that
draw on
pro-terrorism?
the map, that's the outline of Israel.
How is that
Do you know the
pro-terrorism?
whole statement? Do you know the whole statement?
It's from river to sea, Palestine be free.
Cool. So there is Palestine, and then there's the Gaza Strip. Do you know what the Gaza Strip sits by chance?
On the southern side.
It's in the middle. They want the Palestinian people free. They want them to not be under the Israeli government. They're the ones who determine the aid. They're the ones who determine whether they come in or out. But again, this was about free speech. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's We go from free speech to determining what makes somebody anti-Semitic, I guess.
That's all. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's true. Let me fix this. Somebody said that your link wasn't working in my description, so I'll fix it for you guys.
I will have to get ready to go soon.
I know.
I'm a mother of two, and I have.
Oh, he hung up. I didn't even notice that. My bad.
Oh, damn.
Here, guys, I am putting Moni's link in the chats right now and hitting it, so you guys could just go to her page there. Y'all know her on Twitch. It's just Moni Duh. And hi, Red, we love you. Just want to remind everybody on that one. Okay. For the callers that are still in the queue, you heard my co-host. She's got to wrap up. She's a stay-at-home mom and got mommy things to do. So, or this is my little dunk on the person in my comment section that was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you support feminism. That's so disappointing as a leftist." And they are against women staying at homes. I'm so against women staying at home with their children or looking up the household and not being independent from men that I have stay-at-home moms on the platform. She's the second stay-at-home mom I've had on the platform. I have what you would consider a trad wife next week. So I am so against people doing what they want to do that I'm so against it that I'm hosting this. And lovely Mia, you can now be at least like muted for a bit for being ableist because we don't allow this in. Y'all are extra. There you go. I'll help you out here. Bye, Cookie, with your ableism. We don't do that. Guys, if you have not already followed Moni or hit subscribe, go do it now. Her link is pinned in the comments on the YouTube. You guys have her right here on my channel on TikTok. Hit that follow button. If you haven't hit that follow button or hit subscribe to me, go ahead and do that right now. All right. And to be clear, guys, it's not our Mia. All right. Not our Mia. It was a different Mia. I just realized lately that it.
Oh, that they were named me.
That I read the whole username out, and that's what it was. Mia, go get started.
Yes, go. Mia, go.
Go.
I need something to listen to.
Yeah, we gotta do things. But that was crazy, guys. It's very similar in the United States that me or you or anyone that is being critical of our government or governmental structure or the people that are sitting in elected offices does not make us anti-American. It doesn't, right? Because if that was the case, how about, let's just say the 50 million of you that were out there chanting, "Let's go Brandon, fuck Joe Biden," right? All of you people that spoke out and criticized Joe Biden, well, by your own logic, if I am anti-American by speaking out against Donald Trump, I have news for you. So are you. That's not how this works. Yeah, they bought merch. You guys literally went out and bought merch of "Let's Go Brandon." Because you couldn't cuss. Yeah, like, it's so weird. You guys bought merch for that shit. Also, we just need $8 more to finish off the live goal. I know somebody's got $8 to send to Cash App or Venmo. It's Mermaid RE0 everywhere. Scott said, "Here is a good thing that Dumper has done good for Canada is he has made Canada one of the best, if not the best nation in the world. DJT, please keep forgetting to wipe your ass." TDS stands for Trump Dementia Symptoms.
Did you see what Rod Stewart said by chance?
No.
Rod Stewart, he's British, obviously, and he was shaking hands with the king, and he was like, "Great job over in the States. You put that little rat bag in his place." And the king laughed.
Damn, that's hilarious, actually. I did like this one from the guy, his kid coming up, be like, "Mom needs help with the groceries," and then I kid you not, everybody in the chat was like, "Are you gonna help your wife with the groceries?" I bet her back's hurting. Like they were just going up like, "So about your wife?" I forgot about her. But that was towards him saying that I love my wife, but I will still question something or whatever.
Yeah, she's not an angel or whatever.
Yeah, like also questions.
And she's buying the groceries and coming home and you're sitting.
Yeah, you're still talking to somebody on the phone. Yeah, he definitely got yelled at this one too. USA is like a well-used outhouse with trauma. Moose, thank you for the New Zealand 20, said, okay, why do all you Republicans think deregulated everything you get your hands on is a good thing? Deregulation means those companies have less incentives to produce safe and healthy products for consumption by people. Scott, again, MAGA, the closet for gay male Republicans. Yeah. Kazoo, I think it's Cats. I'm just gonna call you Cats. I'm sorry. Nation of hypocrites and idiots. Love the show. Appreciate the labor. Thank you. Yeah, we don't work for free, guys. All right, that's when I say this education is not free. That's what I mean. It's about the labor. Don't make me work for free. All right, and I'm getting you verified, Andrea. So, all right, cool. Okay. We're in the seat the last week, but that's okay. Let me see if Mia is live on her. Please. Oh, did I miss a new member? Thank you if I missed a new member. I know I highlighted someone earlier presenting one, but I didn't think it. I think it was really. There you are. All right. YouTube, have a good night. I'll be back on live tomorrow by myself. Which, just so you guys know, everywhere, you'll start seeing more of these. You will probably see me co-hosting on my channel twice a week. I know this is news to you. This is news to everybody. I haven't told anybody this. So I plan on offering additional dates to the people that I've already included. And if they recommend somebody to join, I might include somebody else as well. My group chat's going to become a server, I swear to God. Thank you, Nicole, for the $9.99. WStream, you two are great together. Thank you, Jeff. We really appreciate that. They call him King Daddy is Home, MAGA plus LA. Magala? Yeah. Magala. Don't with that. Don't with that. Don't make any of that. That's backwards. No, I'm having a time right now. Yes, hello, welcome in.
Let's get reading. Bunch of people.
Hi, welcome back. I see that nothing I said landed with you. Maybe. Why is it doing that? Oh, I get it. Hold on. Nope, still not good. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. I am talking, oh, I was like, why do y'all keep calling me fucking Olive? I just saw that. Okay, okay. I was very confused. I was like, the complexions aren't matching. Is it, what's going on with this? Thank you, welcome in, welcome in.
I am trying to figure out why. Aha! Yeah, it is. Hi guys. So I do have a mutual aid fund going. I have someone who does need some assistance, and I want to make sure that I am able to help and get people together to help with that, because that is very much important for people to be able to live and survive, especially with what's going on currently. So if you, I do have links in my description in the bio, and just make sure that you, anything that I get tonight will go to that, and I will make sure that everybody is able to see that. There will be a receipt, because I want to make sure I got my groceries. I want to make sure everybody else gets their groceries. If I can help that, that's what I'm here for. Jesus, I told you that you could come back if you didn't have that in your bio. But if you would like to call, you can do that. Lunch on that black. All right. So, hi, welcome in. Please go ahead, tap, share, do the wonderful things, or I will get someone in here yell. Welcome in, Ari Redirect. I really appreciate you all. And I'm just fixing my. Let's do that. All right. So mutual aid funds. I want to make sure that's on screen on both platforms. Okay. Now reconsider everything. Okay, Jesus. Once I get my 4K, I will let you up. Because that is my goal. Alright, that's good. So I just want y'all to know, I was doing a stream for Ari and Mommy. And I was like, I asked somebody, hi Ari, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the redirect. I really appreciate that. I do have my phone on, so please, you're more than welcome to call or send in messages. I also talk to non-voters. Because I would like to try to figure out what the fuck we're doing with that too. Because if you don't like misogyny or racism, you're only helping further the system. And we are at 4K. I need my co-host. Hello, Hubert.
Hello.
Right. And you just see remind us how old you are.
So I'm 25.
Okay. So I know it was it's a little heated last or towards the end. What did you want to talk about? If you want to unpack the misogyny, you want to
Yeah, we can do that, but before that, I did want to say on my way out, I was trying to thank you for being respectful, and I got dropped. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I promise I was okay. I was trying to say that because I really thought it was a respectful conversation.
Oh, absolutely. And something that I tell people is like, because we got everything out of the way last time and everything like that. But here's the thing. Sometimes we get very defensive because our beliefs are being challenged. Okay. something that we've held on to for so long is being challenged. And that's why we get to this point where it's just like with someone saying it's feelings and attacks, like rather than understanding it's just being challenged. Okay?
Right.
So, go ahead. You ask your questions or lead the way. What do you want to talk about with that?
I mean, in terms of misogyny, well, can we get definitions first? What is your definition of misogyny?
I'd actually like to get your understanding of misogyny.
Sure. I take it literal that that's just hatred of women.
Okay, so
I don't know.
words or
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess it could be all of that. Like, just like genuinely not liking women because they're women.
so I think so with me, I put like for instance, white supremacy, system, racism is it's systemic, you know. That's so with the patriarchy, you get misogyny, right? Where you have this negative belief or inferior or belief of people being inferior and which would end up being women. And that's why women are hard to fight with.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. Oh, yeah, I would say that. I mean, men and women are different. Men are better at certain things. Women are better at certain things, and I think that's just the reality of the world we live in. Like for instance, like athletics, like men are superior athletically, physically, that type of stuff. Women, I would say, are more compassionate. They tend to understand feelings better. I would say that.
So do you feel as if that's something that might be rooted in the that like boys are supposed to be in sports and boys are supposed to do this and be athletic, whereas girls are supposed to in the face girls and compassion. And less men are so or I keep saying girls and men. Okay, so and less women sorry, less men are emotional. Do you think that's because you have the terms like man up or boys will be boys?
It could be, but I think that it's biological because it's been like that for a while. Like every civilization is pretty much been the same in terms of the leadership, and the ones that aren't, they don't succeed. Like matriarchal societies, they don't succeed. They don't exist. And if they do exist, then it's like they're not like a powerhouse or anything. But which ones?
They do exist because remind me that there's like 15 pairs like there's always so there are matriarchs throughout Africa and Asia. And I think there's one or a couple in South America.
Which ones? Like how are those countries doing?
So they're not or so they wouldn't be based off of countries or more so like their own tribe and their village. Whereas so that's another good point is like most indigenous societies actually ran off the nature. The reason why you don't see or the reason why you don't see that in the US is because well um, um
Yeah, so they got taken over. Like I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it just shows that they can't like succeed.
no they were succeeding.
Well, succeeding in combat, that they don't succeed in combat. Not defending it, I'm just pointing it out.
So when you slaughter take and pillage of societies that you that you basically caught off guard because they invited you and they tried to teach you these different ways of living and stuff like that, and how to be and exist in their space. Would you would you see that as successful?
If the society got slaughtered,
No, if you are the slaughterer.
no, I'm not saying that's successful. In terms of like, it is, yes, it is evil. But in terms of like, there's no other way to say this. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm gonna keep saying that. In terms of like power, they succeeded at taking it over.
I'm so sorry. Fuck, I just read that entire fucking comment. Don't piss me off. Talking about some fucking, gynocentric bullshit. Okay, so this is kind of the same argument when people are like, oh, communism and socialism don't, or not don't exist, but are failing countries or whatever. But the thing is, people don't let those types of societies succeed or fail on their own.
I think communism is a different discussion than the matriarchy versus patriarchy.
Not necessarily.
Well, communism in and of itself just doesn't work.
It doesn't work on because it's a stateless process, so it would have to work on a global scale. There can't be like we can't, for instance, you can't have like a neighbor that's fucking running off of capitalism and think that you're gonna have communism because you're stateless.
Like, I don't know what like practice, but are you for global communism? Okay.
I haven't really decided. I've gone back and forth with it for sure.
Yeah. I guess I would just say that, like, in terms of like in America, like men and women just aren't the same, and like keep having to try to act like they are, and they're not. Like for instance, athletics is a perfect example. Men and women are completely different in terms of like athleticism. Men in general are more athletic, stronger, all the way down the list, and women can't compete with men.
What level of strength or what type of strength you're looking at? Because here's the thing. If you have someone or if you have a particular population that has been playing a particular sport for fucking years upon years upon years, um, nope. Never mind. I'm gonna walk that one back. So basically, think about it this way. You see that, for instance, people like men have had, the white men particularly, have had the capability of education in sports, right? And those have been their capabilities um, within that. And like, whereas girls and women can only participate in particular sports. However, it's not necessarily that they fail when they are when like whether it's a women's sports team or something becomes co-ed. It's not necessarily that they fail. It's just that they are just getting into it. Whereas you like a white man would have a head start with that.
A perfect example of this would be like basketball. Like the NBA has been around for a long time. I believe WNBA started in the 90s, not as old as the NBA. That's still like 30 years, and they just can't compete with each other. Like if you group it all together and be like professional, like one professional basketball league, women would not be in that league at all. It would look the exact same. But there's not a single woman in the WNBA. The best WNBA player cannot compete with the worst NBA player. And that's because they're biologically different. And like what shows is that like that league isn't even successful. So like in a way like the WNBA, it's not a successful league. So in this instance, and do you watch the WNBA? Do either of you watch the WNBA?
don't like any for you.
Do you know anybody who watches the WNBA?
I don't actually like professional, I don't like professional basketball, because it's very, show-offy type of stuff. However, I do know people who do watch the WNBA, and they do follow it closely, as well as like, WNBA.
Yeah.
So, that is where, like, I do know that people, I know people that do, and men, women, just like that they'll watch both. However, when you are talking about hormonally, if someone is or has more testosterone than the next, which like a woman can have more testosterone than men because of a hormone imbalance and whatnot. That's what it's based off of. Yes, biologically, you would have more men having higher testosterone levels, but it's
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, this is fucking retarded. What the fuck?
Something. Can I say something? Is that okay?
Sure, why not?
Want to solve network issues before they cause downtime? No problem. How about generating a script in minutes that used to take hours? You got it. With our ever-growing ecosystem of solutions, cement your reputation, protect your clients, and add revenue streams without additional overheads. Sound too good to be true? Then you don't know ConnectWise. You wish you could have gone over to the back row seat, Siberia. Running tomorrow. You wish. No one chose for This ultimate milk slaughtering moment is brought to you by the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken hot dogs, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
We're gonna have the China TV feed too. Oh, I have a feed. I have a feed right now. I have one I can show you. Different feed I can show you. But we're gonna go away from this camera for a second. Hang on. No, I'm gonna show you a different feed right now. Look at this, right here. Hold on. Wait a second. This is Reuters feed. Look at this. Oh my gosh, crazy. Wow. Reuters feed. Chairman Mao. Whoa, look at this. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's the whole thing. Thanks everybody for being with us for our coverage. I didn't even realize we had this camera. We got this camera a few minutes ago, but I just realized it. Thank you, Roving Ricky. Are there armed police patrolling? Well, we saw a lot of police. I'm not sure that they were all armed, but we see a bunch of police. Um, Thanks, Eliza Jane, as well. So President Trump's going to be arriving soon at the. Oh, hold on a second. President Trump's going to be arriving shortly. I got to keep an eye on all my different feeds. Look at this! Wow! Oh my God! It's Pete Hegseth. It's Scott Bessent. It's Marco Rubio. Oh my gosh! It's happening, guys. It is happening. It's Elon Musk. It's Elon
What?
Musk. It's Tim Cook. Wow. Look at this. I just saw Stephen Chung. Oh, Lara Trump is there.
The fuck?
Wow. Oh my gosh, Louis R gave 50 memberships. That's so nice of Louis R. Thank you, Louis R. We are waiting in Beijing for President Trump to show up. A bunch of the cabinet is there. I see Eric Trump and Lara Trump there. Some CEOs there. We saw Elon Musk is there. Look at this. Look at the ceremony going on. Thanks to all of our moderators as well. This is we're at the Great Hall of the People, I believe. Oh, hold on, I have a second shot. Give me a moment here. I have a second shot. I need a moment to get it on the screen. Now, so I can put this here. And look at this. How do I do this? Okay. We need to get the second shot on the screen for you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa, that is from Chinese TV. I think I'm just going to switch back and forth instead of doing the split screen. Look at that. Hold on. That is from Chinese state television. And we are waiting for Trump to show up. Any moment, Trump shows up. So there they are. See in the lower left, they're on the stairs. So in the lower left, that's where like Elon Musk and Marco Rubio is on the stairs there on the lower left. Whoa. 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 Oh, they're showing it. Hold on. I have another thing to show you. President Xi's coming out. It's President Xi. Where is it here? There's President Xi. Wow. There's a lot going on right now. There's so much happening. Okay, look at this. Now, look at this right now. We got a lot going on now. Is that President Trump's motorcade? I think it is. Look at this. Double coverage. I have 3 shots. I don't know what to show. There's so much to show. Look at this. Wow.
Holy fuck.
Oh my, there it is. There's the car. There's literally 3 different cameras. So I'm doing my best to just show you the best shot. Was that Trump? Maybe? The beast?
That one's done.
They're opening the door. It's President Trump. It's President Trump. It's President Trump. Oh my gosh. It's President Trump. He is walking to see President Xi. They're going to shake hands right now. Oh my God, they're shaking hands. They are shaking hands. Wow. President Trump and President Xi are shaking hands. They are posing for some photos. Incredible. This feed is ahead of the other one. It's ahead of the other one. So let's stay on this. This is ahead of the other shot. So I'm going to stay on this shot. Okay, it's Xi and Trump. I got to change the headline. Okay, there they go. They're walking. You can see Xi and Trump on the Reuters camera. There's Marco Rubio, Jensen Huang, Scott Bessent. Elon Musk and Pete Hegseth, and Tim Cook and others. Hey, it's Stephen Miller. Is that James Blair? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. President Xi is greeting members of the American delegation. Eric Trump is there, Laura Trump is there, Stephen Chung is there. Oh, I have a different angle. Hold on a second. Let me show you this. So this was moments ago. Just to show you here, that's a different angle. But here's caught up because one feed is ahead of the other. All right, that's live right there. The other feed is a few seconds behind. So let's stick on the live feed. This is the live feed right here. There they are, Xi and Trump. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. National anthem time. Wow.
Yeah, okay. That's done. Now, what is this depicting?
Whoa. Now what? Now what?
Okay. Yeah.
She and Trump talking now?
Fuck.
I think they're going inside. Looks like they're going up the stairs. Look at this.
Okay.
U.S. travel goal.
She is talking to Trump and pointing things out. He is pointing things out. He is pointing more things out to Trump. He is pointing. He is pointing more. And the interpreter is interpreting. Let's go in. I think he said, let's go in. Maybe. Now we get to see inside it. We'll have to see it. So now hold on. Now.
Oh shit, that piece needs to go on next. Fuck. Ugh.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Alex,
everyone. Are they going inside? Camera's still rolling. Camera is still rolling. Now the White House screen is moving. Maybe they'll just do an outside shot. Maybe they set up outside.
是有联合采访的，看这儿。 Alex is over there. Move over to this side. Michael, move over here. Shake 带这个，谁的
The kids are still there. The kids who cheered are still there. See the kids standing there? Maybe they'll let the kids go home soon. I don't know. There they are. There are all the kids. Uh-oh, are they going in? Whoa, bonus coverage. Bonus coverage. Look at this bonus coverage. Wow. It's like they're all going in at once. This is something. This is really something. They're being let in. Wow. Reuters camera. Still have the signal. Bonus coverage right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The door, they're at the door, but the door is closed. Breaking news, the door is closed. I see a chandelier. I see a chandelier. Oh my gosh. What's going to happen next? Guys, don't run.
Only stop after you get a run, okay? Okay, one by one. One by one.
The door is opening. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're going in. The camera's going into the great home of the people. Look at this. Unbelievable. IRL screening from Reuters. Right.
Wait for a moment. Sorry. Mark. Yeah. That way.
The great hall of the people.
This is just the U.S. travel. For all you guys, only travel. Only travel.
Only U.S. travel, boys. Only U.S. travel.
No.
Uh-oh. Let's hope this camera's in the travel port.
Huh? Mark, color temperature. Yeah.
Where's Mark? Over there.
Hey, guess what the time is? You guys stay back. This is White House only. White House only. White House only. White House only.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're in the room now. Whoa, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Big table. Big table. Oh.
能不能彰显两国人民的福祉和人类前途命运，共同开创两国关系的美好未来。这些可以说是历史之问、世界之问、人民之问，也是我同您作为大国领导人需要共同书写的时代答卷。今年是美国独立250周年，我向你和美国人民表示祝贺。我始终认为，中美之间的共同利益大于
竞争。
中美各自成功是彼此的机遇，中美关系稳定是世界的利益。双方合则两利，斗则俱伤。不当做伙伴，而不是对手，相互成就，共同繁荣，走出一条新时代大和正确相处的道。我期待着从总统先生就事关两国世界的。
To set the course for and steer the giant ship of China-US relations, so as to make 2026 a historic landmark year that opens up a new chapter in China-US relations. I will pause here and hand over to you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Here comes Trump.
First of all, that was an honor like few have ever seen before. And I think I was particularly impressed by those children. They were happy. They were beautiful. The military is obvious. It couldn't be better, but those children were amazing, and they represent so much. And I know they represent so much to you. You and I have known each other now for a long time. In fact, the longest relationship of our two countries that any president and president has had. And it's to me an honor. We've had a fantastic relationship. We've gotten along. When there were difficulties, we worked it out. I would call you and you would call me. And whenever we had a problem, people don't know, whenever we had a problem, we worked it out very quickly. And we're going to have a fantastic future together. Such respect for China, the job you've done. You're a great leader. I say it to everybody, you're a great leader. Sometimes people don't like me saying it, but I say it anyway because it's true. I only say the truth. And I just want to say, on behalf of all of the great delegation that we have the greatest businessmen, the biggest, I guess the best in the world. We have amazing people, and they're all with me. Every single one of them. We asked the top 30 in the world, every single one of them said yes. And I didn't want the second or the third in the company. I wanted only the top. And they're here today to pay respects to you and to China. And they look forward to trade and doing business. And it's going to be totally reciprocal on our behalf. So I really look very much forward to our discussion. It's a big discussion. There are those that say this is maybe the biggest summit ever. They can never remember anything like it. I can say in the United States, people aren't talking about anything else. But it's an honor to be with you.
I missed
It's an honor
that
to be your friend.
piece there.
And the relationship between China
Can I
and
recover
the
from
USA is
this?
going to be better than ever before. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ooh, maybe.
Okay, let's see. That might, do we have any more feed?
Which way is
That
that
was the White
tilted?
House feed. Let's go to the other feed. I think that's going to be it for this feed. Now there's one other feed. The Reuters feed is like in some room somewhere. That's the Chinese TV feed. Via Reuters.
Okay,
So
so
we have
it's gonna
that.
come out
So we got to hear President Trump speak.
that way.
Now we'll go here. That's the Reuters.
Okay, and
In
then
some room somewhere.
if a miracle we get this to work.
There we go. The Reuters camera is sitting there.
Wow.
Now we don't have the Reuters camera anymore. I think that might be for the cameras for now. Let's see. We may have lost the cameras for now. I don't know when we'll see something again. You know, he's supposed. It looks like they lost their signal. We don't talk. They're supposed to go visit like a temple, I think, after the meeting. I don't know when that's going to be. If there's going to be video, but there might be video of it. Further live coverage is expected. We'll take some time to do that.
How are we gonna do that one?
Quite a whole ceremony. All right, so I'll keep an eye. As soon as I have other footage, I'll show it to you. Hey, really quick, I want to thank a couple people. Thank you to actually, I should change the headline. Trump and Xi meeting in China now. Thanks to Man with Two Eyes for your support, and Conwall Deep for your support. Conwall thinks this meeting is about saving the petrodollar. Conwall thinks China was going to crash the dollar by dumping U.S. treasuries after U.S. cut its oil supplies. The war is about preventing Russia, China, Iran from starting their own oil bloc. That's what Conwall Deep said. Thank you, Conwall Deep, for your support. Thank you also, Haroon Aq. Thanks, Mimi Cafe Light. Thanks, Prep Mom, for your support. who says parents who say shh are typically louder than their children. That's what Prep Mom says. Thank you, Martin Ging. Thank you, Igor Tigor. Thank you, Paul 108, Brandy 75, Tyler Sprague T, and Claire Bentley, and Starburst 23, who says they know he loves the pomp and circumstance well played. Also, Stephen Briones, Temi Dank, thank you.
Okay.
Dan with two eyes,
That's
it
what
looks
I
like
just
China's
fucked up.
2050 plan is going to come to fruition. Thanks also to CC on Twitch, Yup and Yup on Twitch,
Oh,
Drunken Llama, Tech Slug, thanks for the gift subscriptions on Twitch. And also Home Vic on Twitch for subscribing, and Lynn, Andy, and Austin for the bits. Pathless Cross for subscribing. CC as well, thank you. So, they are meeting now. We can't watch the whole meeting, but we're supposed to get more video. So I guess we'll wait and see what we see next. Schedule TBD. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but let me see what else I have here. We'll take some comments here.
holy fuck.
More live coverage expected.
Okay, they're right.
Should I leave the? I can for now. I can leave this on. Maybe I'll leave this on the screen for right now. We'll go with the with this. That's a live shot of Beijing. But as soon as I get other video from like where they are, I will throw it up there for you.
Okay.
What did you think about all that? Let's see.
Oh, really? Are we almost there?
Creative
Right, almost there.
children is perfectly fine to me. Not our job to police other countries' regimes. You guys want to see the part with the Chinese children again? With the children when they all cheered? Okay. We can check that out again if you want. But why don't we replay that moment?
The fuck is that piece
Let's
for?
watch the kids when they cheer. Here it is.
Just a bunch of fucking pieces or still?
So this is going to be moments ago.
What the hell?
We'll put it on the screen for you right now. This is moments ago when we saw the children cheer, when Xi and Trump were walking. Okay, here it is. I think it's right here.
Fucking binding. Literally, that's okay.
There we go. There's the kids. There are the kids.
Okay. More still then. Good. So what the fuck?
That was the kid. That was the kid. In case you missed it before. That's a live shot right there. No, we're not going to see that. We're not going to watch it again right now. Maybe later. We just saw it for a second time. Thanks, Carol's Dark Sarcasm, by the way. Also, Stacy TW, thanks for being a member. Thanks, Peggy SoCal. Peggy SoCal, thanks so much for the memberships. Also, Chris Bartlett for being a member. Thanks so much, Chris Bartlett. Hey, let me shout out our moderators real quick here. I really appreciate our moderators being here during our coverage. We have moderating. Ruth is moderating right now. Thank you so much, Ruth. And Leslie Lady Hawk and Haley Girl are both there. Thank you. Over on Twitch, DJ Dialogue, I Got That Fire, Sarah and Surly Dev, Linda Valclary and Misha moderate for us on X. Also, thanks to our Facebook moderators. We have moderating here Kay Lowry Body, Michael Fergal, moderator in training. Paul Anderson's body, thanks, Paul. Andrea Holder, thank you. So again, they are meeting right now. I don't know how long it's going to take. After the meeting, they're supposed to visit, I believe, a temple. But I don't know yet if we're going to get video of them visiting the temple. Hey, AZ Intel's dad. Thank you, AZ Intel's dad. And thanks for shouting out our moderators, AZ Intel's dad.
Oh, damn it.
Here's Reuters already has an update. Trump and Xi begin Beijing talks with trade truce, Iran war at stake.
Motherfucker.
President Trump received a grand welcome at Beijing's Great Hall of the People today, ahead of talks with China's Xi Jinping, set to cover their fragile trade truce, the Iran war, and U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. This is the first visit by a president to China from the U.S. since Trump did it in 2017. Joining him on the trip are a group of CEOs looking to resolve issues with China, including Elon Musk and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. Trump has said his first request to Xi will be to open up China to U.S. industry. Kicking off the pomp-filled two-day summit, Trump was greeted by Xi on the red carpet outside the imposing ceremonial building, with the leaders shaking hands and smiling warmly. A brass band played the national anthems before the leaders strolled past rows of military honor guard and children waving flowers and U.S. and Chinese flags, with Trump occasionally patting Xi on the back. Oh, thank you to Liz ZY4BJ. Liz, I'll just say Liz. Liz ZY, Lizzie. Maybe it's Lizzie. Lizzie, who says, my parents were on the very first tour in 1978 when China was open to the world. We have some pretty cool things that my parents brought back. Very neat. Thank you, Lizzie. And Chef, thanks for being a member. Semaphore says, too bad Steve Jobs didn't live to do stuff like this. I am keeping an eye out for further coverage. We're supposed to have further video after they meet, I guess. But we'll have to wait and see what that is. Thomas Darwin says Taiwan is a sore spot. Black Cat says this has to be a kick in the blank for the Iranian regime. Well, I don't know exactly what they're going to discuss. But this trip, I believe, was planned before the Iran war broke out. And then it got delayed initially because of the war. So after the Great Hall meeting at the Great Hall of the People, Xi and Trump are scheduled to tour the UNESCO heritage site Temple of Heaven. Now, there's a state banquet, but the state banquet is until 6 p.m. So maybe we'll get to see them toward this Temple of Heaven. Reuters says both sides are eager to maintain a trade truce struck last October, in which Trump suspended triple-digit tariffs on Chinese goods, and President Xi backed away from choking global supplies of rare earths, vital in making items from electric cars to weapons. They are also expected to discuss forums to support mutual trade and investment and dialogue on AI issues. Washington looks to sell Boeing airplanes, farm goods, and energy to China to cut a trade deficit that has long irked Trump, while Beijing wants the U.S. to ease curbs on exports of chip-making equipment and advanced semiconductors. Aside from trade matters, Trump is expected to encourage China to convince Iran to make a deal with Washington to end the conflict, but analysts doubt that President Xi will be willing to push Iran hard or end its support for Iran's military, given Iran's value to Beijing as a strategic counterweight to the U.S. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio told Fox News aboard Air Force One that it was in China's interest to help resolve the crisis, as many of its ships are stuck in the Gulf, and a showdown in the global economy would hurt Chinese exporters. For President Xi, U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, the democratically governed island claimed by China, will be a top priority. China reiterated Wednesday its opposition to those arms sales, with the status of a $14 billion package of arms awaiting Trump's approval still unclear. Hectate, our viewer, says, I think good things are going to happen. Brad Davis says China does not agree to anything. (10:47 a.m. China time). I'm just checking something here. AP thinks that progress beyond pleasantries might prove elusive. AP says Jim Lewis, a tech policy fellow at the Center for European Policy Analysis, said neither side will make much progress on the two major foreign policy issues. Trump will press the Chinese to help him on Iran. They will be unwilling. The Chinese will press Trump to make concessions on Taiwan. We'll see what we get out of that. China is the largest purchaser of Iranian oil, yet Trump has sought to downplay suggestions that he will press Xi to do more to pressure Iran to open the strait. Even as White House officials say, Trump will be making that case to China's leader behind closed doors. AP also says, looming large is the status of Taiwan, given that China is displeased with U.S. claims to sell weapons to Taiwan, that the Chinese government claims Taiwan is part of its own territory. The Trump administration has approved an $11 billion weapons package for Taiwan, but has yet to begin fulfilling it. Taiwan is the world's leading chip maker, producing components essential to the development of artificial intelligence. Trump has sought to bolster trade deals with Taiwan that can stimulate chip production in the U.S. The U.S. and China reached a trade truce last year that calmed each side's threats to impose new tariffs on the other. The White House said there have been ongoing discussions and mutual interest in extending the agreement, though it is unclear whether any such announcement could come during Trump's visit. Trump has said he will ask President Xi to give U.S. firms greater access to the Chinese market, urging his Chinese counterpart to open up China so that these brilliant people can work their magic, he said. President Trump is also looking to extend a deal that allows China to continue exporting rare earth minerals to the U.S. Top American officials have also said Trump will raise the idea of the U.S., China, and Russia signing a pact setting limits on the nuclear weapons each nation keeps in its arsenal, an idea that Beijing has previously been skeptical. That is from AP. Is the war from Iran still on or no? Yes, it is. There's a ceasefire, but the war is still on. The U.S., Iran is still blocking the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. is still blockading Iran. There was an interesting thing with Kuwait today. This is what the Iranian foreign minister posted. Foreign Minister Araghchi said today, in a clear attempt to sow discord, Kuwait has unlawfully attacked an Iranian boat and detained 4 of our citizens in the Persian Gulf. This illegal act took place near an island used by the U.S. to attack Iran. We demand immediate release of our nationals and reserve right to respond. Now you might say, what is he talking about? Which island? Why? When did this happen? Well, I think it was yesterday that this was reported, or that Kuwait said this yesterday. If I can pull it up for you. Here's what Kuwait said yesterday. Here. Kuwait yesterday said, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs expresses the state of Kuwait's strong condemnation and denunciation of the infiltration of Bubiyan Island by an armed group of elements from Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. The group's aim was to carry out hostile acts against the state of Kuwait and their subsequent clash with the Kuwaiti armed forces before being apprehended, which resulted in the injury of a member of the Kuwaiti armed forces. Let me show you where Bubiyan Island is. That was Bubiyan Island. Bubiyan. Okay. There it is. So there's Iran, and there's Kuwait, and there's the island right there. So Kuwait says it apprehended several Iranians And Iran says that Kuwait has illegally attacked an Iranian boat and detained 4 of our citizens near an island used by the U.S. to attack Iran. So let's see what comes from that. Free breakfast and answer. Come on, people, let's work this out. Tennessee D says the IRGC says only we can do things like that. We're waiting to see more footage after the meeting. We might see no live video right now. I mean, this is a live video, but there's no live video of that meeting. We don't get to watch the whole meeting. Thanks to Boba J. Death and Tech Slug and CC on Twitch, by the way. But Xi and Trump are supposed to go tour. I keep forgetting the name of it. I believe a temple. Maybe we'll get to watch them tour the temple.
Fuck off.
Wall Street says 10 different countries all involved in the Iran war, 2 missing.
Fuck it. Oh shit.
Our viewer, Jonathan After Dark, wrote in earlier, the police over there take their job very seriously. They don't like to be recorded. Thanks, Jonathan, for writing in.
My little so fucking sketchy.
The meeting is live on many channels. No. It's not on the White House. It's not on Chinese TV. It's not on the U.S. The U.S. network pool is showing people driving around. That's a replay. I'm not aware of a single channel where it's live. But our viewer says it's live on many channels. One of our viewers insists it's live on many channels. I'm looking at all of the Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, U.S. network pool, Reuters, AP. It's not live on me. Why would it? They're not going to have the whole meeting live anyway. You're not going to want to have the whole meeting on camera. None of our viewers are saying it's not either. But we're waiting to see. Will we get to see them after? CNN said the first 5 Chinese officials who greeted President Trump at about an hour ago at the event, aside from President Xi, were Xi's chief of staff, China's top diplomat Wang Yi, China's lead negotiator on economic trade affairs with Washington, China's defense minister, and China's top economic planner. Maybe President Trump will post something on Truth Social during the meeting. Here is a post, by the way, that President Trump made about a day ago. About 24 hours ago, President Trump said, CNBC incorrectly reported that the great Jensen Huang of NVIDIA was not invited to the incredible gathering of the world's greatest businessmen and women proudly going to China. In actuality, Jensen's currently on Air Force One. This was a day ago, and unless I ask him to leave, which is highly unlikely, CNBC's reporting is incorrect, or as they say in politics, fake news. It is an honor to have Jensen, Elon, Tim Apple, Larry Fink, Stephen Schwartzman, Kelly Ortberg, Boeing, Brian Sykes, Cargill, James Frazier, Citi, Larry Culp, GE Aerospace, David Solomon, Goldman Sachs, Sanjay Mehrotra, Micron, Cristiano Amon, Qualcomm, and many others journeying to the great country of China, where I will be asking President Xi, a leader of extraordinary distinction, to open up China so that these brilliant people can work their magic and help bring the People's Republic to an even higher level. In fact, I promise that when we are together, which will be in a matter of hours, I will make that my very first request. I have never seen or heard of any idea that would be more beneficial to our incredible country. Tim Apple is Tim Cook. Who is the CEO of Apple. He's going to be stepping down as CEO in September. Mr. Rubik says, good old Tim Apple. Bill Moragar said, this is such coke, China doesn't want any of that. That's what President Trump had to say. Will we be getting more food when the meeting? I have no idea how long this meeting is. How long has the meeting been going on for? I'd have to check my own broadcast. Let's see. How long has the meeting been going on for? I can check my own broadcast. Let's see. It's been going on. I rewind. Not that long. Looks like about 35 minutes or something. Not that long. But this is also, it's like the huge table, meeting at a huge table. I don't know, maybe they'll do a more private meeting later. I mean, if you missed it, I'll show you what the table looks like, but it's gigantic. Here. Here's a screen grab of the table. Oops. There, that's what the table looks like. There's a lot of people there. Ruth says they will do a one-on-one. A little blurry in that shot, but if I play it, there, that's better. That's where they're meeting. Dan Cruz too says huge table. Well, you know what happened? Why is this all mixed up here? What did I do here? Something's wrong up here. Oh, I know what that means. Edgar Allan Poe says that is a big table. Thanks, TechSlug, by the way, for your support. Some people were asking for a poll. I wasn't sure what to ask about the meeting. I don't really want to just say, will it accomplish something? It's kind of a very general question. Tui thinks they'll play golf later? I hadn't heard about that, Tui. I'll ask a question now, because people wanted to do a poll. We have done a poll yet. Will this meeting help shorten the Iran war? Yes or no? I'll ask a question. Since people wanted to do a poll, I will at least post that. I'm posting it right now. I'm posting it right now. Here is you guys thinking about what to do in the poll. Let's show you what you said. By the way, thanks so much to Randy Economy, and William Bowser, and Michael Fergal, and Kristen McConnell Gates, and Brian Davia for the Facebook stars. It's very nice of you. Now, let's see what people had to say. I said, will this meeting help shorten the Iran war? On YouTube, 74% say no. On Facebook, 65% say no. On Twitch, 40% 84% say no. Majority of you are a no. Vibe trading, the people are just negative and pessimistic. These days, the board says, say yes, people, we need all the help we can get. Sarah thinks that she doesn't like Trump. That's why he didn't meet Trump getting off the plane. I don't know if that's how they, maybe that's how they normally do things with the state visits. I don't know enough about Chinese state visits. We're waiting to see what happens after the meeting, and if we're going to see any video of them touring the temple. Moose thinks this has nothing to do with it all. Thanks, Raised by the Wolves. A number of our viewers are claiming that the CIA has raided Tulsi Gabbard's office. Honestly, I really don't see much reporting about this. I believe Jesse Waters posted about it from Fox, but I really don't see it widely reported at all. I really know nothing about it. So I'm not positive what's going on with that. I looked before and I really couldn't find much. I found a Jesse Waters X post about it. Anna Luna tweeted about it. Well, again, I mean, if Anna Paulina Luna tweeted about it, that doesn't mean it's necessarily true. So I don't know. Anna Paulina Luna, representative from Florida, claims that the CIA took documents from Tulsi Gabbard's office. But she quoted a post online that was from not a news outlet that claims a CIA whistleblower said it. So Anna Paulina Luna reposted a post from somebody who said that the CIA seized boxes of JFK and MK Ultra files that were being processed by the ODNI's office for declassification, and said that the story was from CIA whistleblower James Erdman III. So I have no idea if this is true. I really know nothing about this, and I don't know anything about James Erdman III. Anyways, I'll keep an eye out, but I really, sorry. I got all messed up with it on screen. Let me just end the poll. I didn't realize it was still up there. Anyways, the majority of you said that this meeting will not help shorten the Iran war. Thanks for voting for the poll. Thanks, by the way, to Chris Renfro for the membership. Also, Raised by the Wolves. Thank you so much, Raised by the Wolves. And Dawn Don says it's interesting to see the country of China. I agree. Thank you, Don. Yeah, I just can't really comment about that story. It doesn't seem very well sourced at the moment, and I don't really personally have any details on it, so I'll have to see what else gets reported or not about it. Yeah, TMZ says the CIA has raided Tulsi Gabbard's office, according to reports. And then they have a Twitter post from Jesse Waters, and then Jesse Waters said that the Fauci whistleblower James Erdman III claimed this. So again, TMZ is giving you nothing new in terms of sourcing. They don't have independent sourcing. They're just quoting this person, CIA whistleblower James Erdman III, who seems to be the only original source for this story. I don't know anything about him. I don't really know the details of this, so I can't really say much about it. But right now, it seems that everybody is quoting this one whistleblower person. So as I say, you need to read the article. Just because an outlet is posting about it does not mean they have original sources. Often you have a case where different outlets are posting about stuff, and then if you follow the trail, it all leads back to one original reporter. The White House press pool reports, Danny Kemp from AFP reports from China and says, CEOs Elon Musk, Jensen Huang, and Tim Cook were spotted leaving the front entrance of the Great Hall of the People, and the pool shouted some questions to them about how the meetings had gone as they went down the steps to their bus. Hey, let me put this on the screen for you guys. I just saw a new report from the White House press corps about 10 minutes ago. Let me put this on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. Yes, Tim Apple, President Trump says. This is from Danny Kemp, who's AFP White House correspondent. So it says, CEOs Elon Musk, Jensen Huang, and Tim Cook were spotted leaving the front entrance of the Great Hall of the People, and this press corps shouted some questions about how the meetings had gone as they went down the steps to their bus. Wonderful, said Musk. After it had been achieved, Musk said many good things. Tim Cook gave a peace sign, then the thumbs up. Meetings went well, said Jensen Huang. Mr. Xi and President Trump were incredible. Oh, the pool now into a new location now. It's possible that the meetings are now over, at least the initial meeting at the Great Hall of the People. The pool is going to a new location, so maybe we'll get some more videos soon. Let me keep an eye on keep an eye on a couple cameras to see if we're going to get more footage here. Hold on, guys, hold on. I think there's a new location. I know there's a new location because the pool feed, which I don't have, I cannot use, is at a different location. But that bodes well for more coverage. So just give me a second here. Bear with me. I do believe that we are going to have I have video right now. I have a live chat video right now. This is the same location, but it's outside. I think. Hold on a second. What's